Hey man, this is RC Blakes, and guess what? Queenology is happening in 1 month in Atlanta, Georgia. Have you registered? You mean to tell me you've not registered for the Women's Empowerment Event of the Year? Man, you got to come to Queenology. Women are coming from all over the United States of America and the world. This is a community. This is a family. You need to go to queenology.net and register right now. That Saturday, August the 24th, we're going to have the brunch and intensive. Man, that's going to be a powerful time of impartation. We're also going to have on that day a panel discussion with the young men from Hartley Initiated and the famous psychologist, Dr. Aldwin Tart. My dear daughter, Dr. Carrie Turner, is going to facilitate that conversation. On that day, we're also going to choose from the names of all of the registrants the winner for our 2025 Ghana trip. Last year at Queenology, we chose a name and the young lady went with us to Egypt this year. Well, we're choosing on that day the winner for the 2025 Ghana trip. And then, of course, that Sunday night, the 25th, we're closing out with an all-white party with Dave Hollister. He's going to be singing the Queenology theme song. It's going to be a private concert. You can go to queenology.net and you can register. You can buy tickets for the all-white party. Man, you just don't want to miss this. Those of you that are in VIP, Lisa and I are looking forward to meeting you. It's going to be amazing. Queenology 2025. Don't you dare miss this.
Hello and welcome to Let's Talk with Bishop R.C. Blakes. R.C. is an author, empowerment teacher, and the proud pastor of the New Home Ministries of New Orleans, Louisiana, and Houston, Texas. His message circles the globe. His conversational and candid approach to challenging content makes him a relevant voice to all generations. Get ready for a life-changing transformational conversation.
Hello. This is R.C. Blakes, and I want to welcome you back again to another Let's Talk with R.C. Blakes. I just love talking with you. And I really wish you would invite some others to come in and to be a part of this conversation today. I think this is going to be a great one. You know, I do my best. I really do my best to speak to the issues that would really empower women to live more productive, healthy, and fulfilled lives. And some would ask the question, well, why does a man have to speak, to the issues of women? Well, I think it's, I really think it's almost divine. I think fathers, the voice of a father really empowers a girl, a woman, a young lady to know how to navigate a male-dominated society. And I think that fathers, the voice of a father or a father figure really resonates, in the soul of a woman. When a woman when a woman's soul encounters a healthy man that desires nothing from her but her best interest, there's something that comes alive. So I can't really explain all of that as to why this is and why this happens, but I know that God has given me the assignment to speak into the lives of women. And I do have a message. I do have a word for men. But I know that God in this season of my life has really assigned to me the mission of speaking into the lives of women. And so today, excuse me, to that end, I want to talk about how does a woman give a man space the right way? How does a woman give a man space, a man that you've been dating, a man that you have some level of relationship with? How does a woman do that the right way? Because I see a lot of women who claim to, I'm going to give him his space. And then at the same time, you're blowing the man's phone up. You're hiding in the bushes. You're stalking his social media. I want to just kind of dig into this because I think that there's a certain posture that a woman has to take when a man would ask for space. I really do believe it. And if you know, and I'm certain that most of you do, if you know my story of Lisa and I asked for space and she gave it to me, right? And the result of that was clarity for me, honestly. But she didn't give me space in the sense of saying it out of her mouth and then running me down and, hiding out in the bushes and, stalking my house. No, when I asked for space, she gave me more space than I knew what to do with, quite honestly. And so I want to deal with this. And I think it's important to deal with because when a man would ask a woman for space, he's either confused, like I was. He's honestly confused, but a confused man can only bring confusion into your life. So a confused man is toxic, right? And if a man is confused and he wants space, it's in your best interest, as well as his, to give him the space he's looking for. And you probably should give him more space than he's looking for. But a man typically would ask for space when he's confused or when he's running game. And in most cases, when a man is asking a woman for space, he is running psychological games. The reason he's asking you for space is because he wants to reposition you into the posture of a chase. Now, a man doesn't just need space when he asks for it. There's some other reasons. When a man is waffling, when a man is, I kind of mentioned it, confused, when he's double-minded, he's in, he's out, then you choose, he doesn't need to ask. You give him space. And when I say space, I mean space as in your absence. Not space as in you're not coming around as much, but when he calls, you show up. No, if a man is waffling and he doesn't know if he wants it, he doesn't know if he loves you, he doesn't know if, you gotta choose to give him space. Another reason to give a man space is when his energy feels bad to you. You choose to give him space. You choose to give yourself a reprieve from that kind of toxic bondage. And then, of course, whenever a man would ask for it. And it's important for a woman to know how to navigate these situations for the reasons I just mentioned. When a man is asking you for space, he's either confused or he's running game, right? It's important for you to understand how to navigate this kind of scenario as a woman, because women tend to take relationships much more seriously, much quicker than men. A woman approaches a relationship from her heart, from her soul, from day one, really. Once she figures out she's really feeling this guy and she thinks that this guy is the one, she's approaching that thing from her heart. Men typically, see, women are more relational, men are more transactional. And so before a man falls in love, he's trying to figure out if he's getting enough out of this, if this is really what he wants. Women fall in love and then they try to figure out later, if I'm getting what I need out of this situation. And so it's very important for a woman to know how to navigate these situations logically, because it is typically the woman's propensity to approach her relationship with a man emotionally. Dare I say, hyper emotionally. And so, she just wants to make it work. She just wants to make it work. She wants to make it work even when it's not really working for her. You gotta know how to give a man space the right way. Oh, what do I have? How many do I have? How many points do I have? Can you all guess how many points I have? Dun, 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 dun. 7. You're right. You guessed right. I have 7 points. Number 1, when a man makes a request for space, comply with his request immediately. Give him what he's asking for immediately. You don't even need to ask, here you go, let me help you now. You don't even need to ask why. Why is not important. The mere fact that this brother fixed his mouth to say to you, and doesn't mean that you got to get indignant or offended, but the mere fact that he could fix his mouth to ask you, of all people, for space, you should give him a yes before he can finish the sentence. Because when a man asks for space, it's crucial to respect, listen to this carefully now, his wishes right away. It shows that you honor his desires and that you can set the foundation for healthy boundaries for yourself. Listen to what I just said. It shows that you honor his desires, and it proves that you can set the foundation for healthy boundaries for yourself. You gotta tell him, yeah, quick, real quick, real quick. You don't even give yourself a chance to get all in your emotions and in your feelings. No, if your brother say, man, I just think I need some space, you supposed to say, okay, good night. Good night. Talk to you later. You see. Dr. John Gray, who wrote Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, he said this: respecting someone's need for space shows your respect for their individuality and your strength in handling the relationship with maturity. You're not handling a relationship with maturity when you are so needy of a person that they can ask you, make a direct request of you to give me space, and now they got to spend the next 4 or 5 hours explaining to you why. If somebody tells you they don't want you, you don't need to know why. You just need to say, okay. Somebody tells you, I want space. You don't need to ask why, how long. You just need to say, okay. Listen to what Matthew 10:14 says. If anyone will not welcome you or listen to your words, leave that home or town and shake the dust off your feet. What is the greater principle of that text? Jesus is talking to his disciples here about going into various places to preach the gospel. And he says, if folk don't receive you, if folk don't recognize your value, if they don't recognize the blessing you are and the grace you bring, he says, leave that town immediately and shake the dust off your feet. You don't even want residue from that experience. Leave all the residue where you found it. And so this principle also applies to, how we manage our relationships. When people don't respect the value that you are, or people are not wise enough to understand what you're bringing into their lives, you should immediately comply with their requests. You want space? Okay, no problem. You have a right to that. God bless you. Good night. Oh, wait. You see, because there's going to be a whole lot of wait, because in most cases, that was a chess move. That was a psychological chess move to get you to start asking why. And once you start asking why, then you get emotional because they're going to give you a whole lot of stuff once you ask why. Yeah, I just don't know. And now you're going to start internalizing, and you're going to start feeling like there's something wrong with you. And then you're going to move from why to please. And now you're in a psychological lock called a soul tie, because somebody ran game on you that your father should have taught you about, but most fathers never took the time to teach their daughters about how men run this game on you. And so the main reason it's important to comply immediately is because your self-esteem is on trial. When a man tells you, I need some space, your self-esteem immediately is on trial. You will know in a nanosecond, if you have high self-esteem, if a man ever tells you, I need space, I just need some space. If you don't have high self-esteem, immediately, you're going to sink down in your posture, you're going to sink down in your spirit, and you're going to start going over, rehearsing everything in your mind as it relates to what's wrong with you and why you don't measure up and why you're not worthy of a relationship. But if your self-esteem is high, you can hear a man say, I need space, and you can say to him immediately, okay, well, it's been real. It's been real. And I mean, hit the door quick. You don't need to stop for any prolonged conversation. Hit the door quick. Matthew chapter 7:6 says, do not give dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they may trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces. In other words, don't give your best to people who are not on a level to appreciate the value that you bring. And so how do you give a man space? You give it to him immediately. You don't ask him why. You don't plead with him for, another chance. Let's keep working on it. Let's keep working on it. No, I don't even advise a man to do that. If a woman asks you for space, give it to her immediately. I don't care how much you love her. Give it to her immediately. Because sometimes you can chase other folk and lose yourself in the process. And I pause right there because I need you to think about what I just said. You can chase other people to the extent that you lose yourself in the process. So if you need space, grant it. You don't want to know why? I don't need to know why. You want it. I'm going to give it to you. You don't go to the store. People don't ask you why you want to purchase certain items when you get to the store, right? You go to the store, you pick up what you want, you go to the counter, you pay for it. Nobody's asking you why do you want it. They give you what you ask for. You just got to be ready to pay the price for what you're asking for. And so you're asking for space. I'm going to give it to you, but be ready to pay the price. What was the price for me? When I said to Lisa, I don't want to be married, basically asking for space. She went on and got another man, and I had to hear about it. She never asked me why. She never called me. She never came around. She never was searching for me. None of that desperate woman type stuff. None of that. None of that. If she had done that, our story would be very different today. I don't even know if I'd be sitting here talking to you, honestly. I don't know if my life would have gone in this direction. But she gave it to me immediately. And that's one of the first things you got to learn as a queen conscious woman is that you're not running behind a man. You're not chasing a man. You're not begging a man. You're not pleading with a man. None of this, 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 none of this. Number two, how does a woman give a man space the right way? Consciously, once you say, okay, cool, consciously shift your focus from him to you. Don't even allow yourself to spend time thinking about him and what was he thinking or what is he doing? It was later I found out that Lisa said she was thinking about me and all of that after she told me, okay, that's all she said was okay. When I said, I didn't think I want to be married, she should move on. She said, okay, and she left. But as far as I'm concerned, she went and got this dude. I don't think she telling the truth about that. I don't think she was thinking about me. She was running up and down the street with this other dude. I might need a little therapy on that. But you got to consciously shift your focus from him to you. Because women subconsciously put your relationships ahead of your own interest. And when a man wants space, you must consciously shift from your normal tendency. And this is when you think about once you give a man space, this is a perfect time for you to redirect your energy. So, you start focusing on you, engage in hobbies, great time for you to get on your fitness game so you can feel, best about yourself. This is the time for you to probably give yourself a makeover. So when you look in the mirror, you seeing yourself, at 100%, this is a perfect time for you to focus on you, pursue your career goals and your friendships and date other people. Because, a man can't occupy your life and have space at the same time. I'm going to leave that alone, but you got to consciously shift your focus from him to you. Because more than likely, if the relationship has gone on for any length of time, and if you feel any kind of way about him, more than likely you've been consumed with thoughts of him anyway. Now it's time for you to think about you. Esther Perel, I think she authored Mating in Captivity. She says this: investing in yourself not only makes you happier, but also more attractive as a partner. When you give a man space, you should become a better version of yourself in his absence. And that's not about him. That's about you pouring into your own self-esteem. Now, the fringe benefit of that is when he comes around and sees you again, he realizes even the more what a mistake he made, because the idea is, if I leave, she's going to fall apart. You'd be amazed at how many men feel that way. She's going to fall apart. She's not going to be able to hold it together. But babe, when you've actually held it together, polished it, fine-tuned it, and all of this kind of thing, because you consciously shifted your focus from him to you. So you gotta like quietly shift into a self-preservation mode without any anger or anxiety. No anger, no anxiety, just awareness. And what's the awareness? I'm either dealing with a confused guy or I'm dealing with a toxic guy that's running game. So now it behooves me to be my own advocate. So I'm not angry. I'm not full of anxiety. I am aware that I must be my own advocate. I got to take care of me for a change. Matthew chapter 5 and verse 30 reads like this: "And if thy right hand offend thee, cut it off, cast it from thee, for it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell." In other words, if a thing is not working for you, you got to eliminate that thing, right? If you're being locked in on, see, it's not enough for you to tell a man, go on, I'm gonna give you what you're asking for. And then you sitting there all day, every day, consumed with thoughts of this guy. But you got to cut those thoughts off. And you got to learn to love you more than, the buffoonery. Number 3, embrace the process. This is how you give a man space properly. Embrace the process as though it's permanent. In other words, when you tell a man, okay, you want space, okay, cool, I'm out. When you walk out, you got to walk out as though there will never be a reconnection. You do too much damage to your heart. You do too much emotional damage to your heart when you walk out hoping and wishing based on somebody else's decision. No, I'm not going to leave my emotional well-being and health in the hands of a person that's already proven to be less than dependable. I'm going to embrace this entire process as though this is permanent. Not only am I giving you space, I'm going on about my business and you go on about yours. That's how I'm going to view it. And that's how I'm going to approach it. Unless you're in a very serious relationship and your man says to you, I'm dealing with some stuff. Can you, just give me 24 hours to think through some things? That's different. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a man that says to you, I just think I need some space, undefined, unwarranted, out the blue. That's a joke. He's either confused or he's very clear about doing his best to deceive you and to break you. So you have to embrace the process as though it is, permanent. By treating the distance as something that might continue indefinitely, you free yourself from constant waiting and allow personal growth to become your primary focus. And why is this important? This is important because you cannot focus backwards and forward at the same time. If he says he wants space, you got to embrace the process as though it is permanent. You got to let that go, and you got to focus on personal growth and development. Brene Brown says this. She says, attachment without dependence is the key to a healthy relationship. In other words, you're going to always, if you are a healthy individual woman, if you're a healthy queen conscious woman, you are never in a psychological position where you can't move on without another person. As much as I love Lisa, and I believe she loves me as much, there's coming a time when either I'm going to have to do without her, or she's going to have to do without me. Right? It's called death. And so healthy people are able to embrace the idea of being without someone that they may have even loved, because you cannot allow. See, if this is a toxic version of a man asking for space, what he's trying to do is create that revolving door called a soul tie. You cannot allow a revolving door. You must quarantine this guy to his own thoughts and choices. Make him a prisoner to his own reality without you. And watch this. This means no access. Embrace the process as though it is permanent. I love the way Philippians chapter 3 and verse 13 reads, "Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, and reaching forth unto those things which are before." You got to be able to leave everything in the rear, and you got to keep everything in your future. Now, your man may be in your future, but you are absolutely in your future. The only person that you are certain will be in your future is you. And there comes a time when somebody's saying to you, well, I think my ride with you ends here. You got to honor that, and you have to let them off the ride, and you have to embrace that as though it is permanent. Because if you don't embrace it as though it's permanent, you know what you do? You'll sit in that spot waiting for them to return to get on the ride. Number 4. While you are in this posture where this person has asked you for space and you've given it to them and you said, okay, do you? And you're embracing the process as though it's permanent. You're consciously shifting your focus from them to you. Take this time, number 4, to correct any self-esteem issues within yourself. Because again, when somebody says to you, I think I want some space, it can be a man to a woman or a woman to a man. Somebody says to you, I think I want space. It will definitely tell the truth on your self-esteem metrics. And so if, when you feel shaken in your self-esteem, when you feel like your self-worth is challenged because this person says, I need space, or you feel like your identity is challenged, Now you got to take this time to correct any self-esteem issues within yourself, because at the end of the day, it's called what? Self-esteem, and it's self-esteem for a reason. It's something that you got to do for yourself. Now, you might have bought into the idea that your self-esteem comes from your relationship status, but your self-esteem got to come from you. And so you can't follow your auntie's advice about the quickest way to get over one man is to get under another. You notice auntie ain't got no healthy relationship. You notice that? You notice she ain't been able to keep a man. You notice auntie got all these babies and ain't been able to get nobody to marry her. Auntie ain't the one to listen to. The quickest way to get over a man is to get on top of yourself, your self-esteem, your self-worth, your self-control. Do the work. In other words, while you've pulled away from that, correct any self-esteem issues that you might find within you. Use this time to identify and address any insecurities you may have. All the lies that your mind will try to tell you. Oh, he said he needed space because of your weight. You got to pull those lies down. All the ideas about, well, he pulled away from you because of this or because of that. You got to pull all of that stuff down. You got to build yourself up, because self-improvement benefits all aspects. Self-improvement benefits all aspects of your life, not just your relationships. Robert Holden says this: your relationship with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship you have. You got to get your self-esteem corrected, because your self-esteem leads to your self-love. And your self-esteem and your self-love are the roadmap for how others will love you. See, the reason you've tolerated somebody in your life that has not loved you properly is because you've not learned to love yourself properly. And the reason you run people away from you that love you on a level that you deserve is because you've not been able to give that level of love to yourself. So your soul, your broken soul, can't fathom somebody else giving you the kind of love that you don't possess for yourself. You will always sink to the level of your self-love, and your self-love will always, register at the level of your self-esteem. And so when somebody says to you, I need space, that is the perfect time, the opportune time to pull away and to correct any self-esteem issues that you might find in you. Any insecurities, any false beliefs, any negative self-talk. Great time to assess where your self-esteem is based and to make corrections if necessary. Because a lot of times you discover, as I just said, your self-esteem was in that relationship until somebody says, I need space. Now all the air is sucked out of all the wind is out of your sail. Colossians chapter 2, verses 6 and 7 says, so then, just as you receive Christ, Jesus as Lord, continue to live your lives in Him. Continue to live your lives in Him, in the Creator, in God, not men. Rooted and built up in Him. Let your roots be in Him, in the Creator, not relationships, not men. This is self-esteem revelation here. Rooted and built up in Him, strengthened in the faith as you were taught, and overflowing with thankfulness. Find every reason in your life to be grateful and to be thankful. Focus on that. Focus on your relationship with God. Root and ground yourself. Build yourself up. Strengthen yourself in your faith. And let God be the source of your self-esteem, your self-awareness, your self-identity. Let God be the source. So esteem is really all about focus. If you're focused on the Creator, your esteem is rooted and grounded in the right source. But if you're focused on a man that says to you, I need some space, your esteem is rooted in unpredictable, unproductive soil. You're like the man that built his house on the sand, and when the storm came, the winds blew and blew his house down. But there was another man that built his house upon a rock. And when the storm came, his house fell not, because it was founded on a rock. You got to take this time to make certain that your self-esteem is built upon a rock. Don't buy into this thing. Don't follow this urge to run out here and go get another man to replace the man. This is not about finding another man. This is about locating yourself. Number 5, let me hurry on. In the process, not only should you correct any self-esteem issues within yourself while you're giving this man space, but you should curate a fulfilled life on your own accord or on your own terms. Curate, develop a fulfilled life on your own terms. Because a life that feels complete without needing someone else builds a solid foundation for a relationship based on mutual love rather than dependency. So you're gonna curate your own life into something that is totally and completely fulfilling before you ever try to move off into another relationship or even re-enter this one. Because you got to know in your own soul and heart that your fulfillment does not come from someone else, but your fulfillment comes from within. Philippians 4:11 and 12 says, not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned, here it is, in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content. Single, married, divorced, hadn't been in a relationship for 6 years, 40 years old, not in a relationship, 50 years old, not in a relationship, 60 years old. Not, I have learned in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content. What is he saying here? I have curated a fulfilled life separate and apart from circumstances. Verse 12, he says, I know both how to be abased and I know how to abound. I know how to have a little bit. I know how to have a lot. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need, both to be in a relationship and out of one. Whatever it is, I'm content. I'm fulfilled. I'm happy. I desire a relationship, but I don't need one. Not to be happy. Cahill Gibran says, a healthy relationship is when two individuals come together and create a space where both can thrive without losing their individuality. That's the thing that makes Lisa and I work. I got to put a picture of Lisa and I in here so I can point at it when I want. That's the thing that makes us work, is that I'm an individual and I've curated my own happiness. She's an individual. She curates her own happiness. We be in the same house many days and don't see one another for hours. She's in her space, I'm in mine. There's no neediness here. Come on now. I don't need her to make me happy. She doesn't need me to make her happy. Keeping myself happy is a big enough job. And anybody that's ever made yourself happy, you know that that's too big of a responsibility for somebody else to say to you, make me happy. While you're in this season, curate a fulfilled life on your own accord. Learn to be happy by yourself. Number 6, while you're in this state, reassess your needs in the time you have alone or to yourself. Because if you really take this time to really think about it, anyone that can say to you, I need space, didn't bring enough to the relationship, or didn't bring everything, should I say, to the relationship that you deserved. So you were deficient of some things in that relationship that you probably were not aware of. It probably was just your idea of the potential that kind of overrode all of the realities, the red flags that were flying before your face. And now if you sit in retrospect, hindsight is 2020, and you look back on it, now you can really begin to pull away from it, not pain, but wisdom. And you can say, okay, yeah, I really wasn't getting this. I really need this in a relationship. So that even if this person returns, not only have they done some personal work to figure things out, but now you have a list of things that you need them to do if you choose to, because when I left, when I said to Lisa, I don't think I want to be married, and I left, and she left, said okay, and a year and whatever later, I come back and said, well, I'm clear now. God has really spoken to me, and she said, okay, I'll marry you. Well, I was a completely different man, and she had different requirements. She was a different woman. And so when a man tells you, I need space, when he come back, you should be a much more mature woman with a different set of requirements than you had when he left. Not that you're going to be difficult and problematic and all of that, but I mean, you should have learned, you should know more about what you need now. So this is an excellent opportunity to critically evaluate what you truly desire in a relationship and in life. And this clarity can guide you toward more genuine and fulfilling connections. This is why 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 14 says, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship, that word fellowship, hath righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion hath light with darkness? So in the time to yourself, ask yourself the questions. What do we have in common? That's what fellowship means, to share in common. What this person and I, what do we really have in common? Or was this just a superficial sexual connection, which is really not enough? Do our futures align? Do our futures align? Why would there be this disruption in the middle of our process if our futures align? Are we equally joined? Are we on the same level, spirit, soul, body? Nikki Rowe wrote this: solitude is where I place my chaos to rest and awaken my inner peace. So when I'm to myself, Nikki says, solitude is where I place my chaos to rest and awaken my inner peace. So by the time this person returns, I've done such a work within myself, and I know so much about what I need and what I really desire. I'm at peace. I've curated my own happy. I've done all. I've adjusted my own self-esteem. you know? And then finally, number 7, probably should have put this first. I've been hinting at it the whole while. When a man asks you for space, redefine yourself as available. No. We ain't got no layaway plan here. No. You want space? Good, but just understand now. I'm not locked down to you. Again, just to be clear, I'm not talking about those of you that are in serious relationships and maybe your man's going through something. He's saying, babe, give me 24, 48 hours so I can think my way through this or whatever. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a man that just about the clear blue sky. I just think I need some space. He either running games or he's confused. And in either case, you don't let a man tell you he needs space and then keep you off the market at the same time. No, you ain't got time to be sitting around waiting for nobody. You got to redefine yourself as available. When a man tells you he wants space, you got to redefine yourself as available. That's why Lisa went and got this other man. Supposed to be a Christian woman, too. But being open, back to my thing, being open to new experiences and interactions can lead to personal growth and possibly new relationships. Your availability is not just physical, but emotional and intellectual as well. You don't let a man continue to tie your life up after he's asked you for space. Just make it clear. Now, hey, you got that. Been great knowing you, but, this is what you want, you got what you're asking for. You don't owe him no explanations. When he see you out on a date with somebody, you don't owe him no explanations. You're not married to this guy. You're not married to this man. He's not your husband. Boyfriends are not husbands. You owe this man nothing. The Bible says in 1 Corinthians 7, 33 and 34 says, but he that is married careth for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife. There's difference also between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman careth for the things of the Lord, that she may be holy both in body and in spirit. But she that is married careth for the things of the world, how she may please her husband. So my point is, a single woman is only dedicated to God until she's married. If a man has not put a ring on it, you don't sit up and lay away waiting for him to figure out if he's gonna retrieve you or not. No. And it doesn't make you a loose woman to say, well, have at it, brother, because you don't know how long he's gonna be in that. You ain't got time for that. You do not have time for that. You don't let no man take you off the market. That's not that ain't paying the price. Virtuous woman, her price is far above rubies. You got to pay the price. Paulo Coelho says this: freedom is not the absence of commitments, but the ability to choose and commit myself to what is best for me. You're free. You're not bound to this man while he's trying to figure it out. You're free. If a woman come and ask you as a man, I just think I need space, let her have what she's asking for. But don't be sitting around, go date, man. Go find you somebody to date. Go through all this other stuff I just got you talking about. But when it boils down to you've done all your inner work and she's still tripping, go on some dates. Figure it out. You ain't got time to sit around waiting for a woman to grow up and understand that, you a husband, or a man to grow up and understand that you a wife, and you sitting around there praying. I'm praying for God to open his eyes. Man, God, you better try to open your eyes. That's who I'm praying for. I'm praying for God to open your eyes. You about to miss your whole life messing around with a clown that's more than likely just running game. Oh, Lord, have mercy, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. And with that said, I'm done. I'm done. I hope you got something out of this, man. I really, really hope you got something out of this. Now, please share this with all of your friends. You can copy the link and you can text it to your friends. They don't even have to go to YouTube. Just text the link to them. Tell them, now watch this. They hit it on their phone. It's going to start playing. That's how you can help me grow this channel. Now, don't forget to go to rcblakes.com, sign up for the mailing list, check out all of the online programs. That program, Transcending the Father Wound, many of you need that, and it's not just for women. It's not just for women. Transcending the Father Wound. You need to get that program, and you need to go through it, and you need to do it like now, because many of you are disrupted because of your father wounds. So go to rcblakes.com and do that now. Thanks to all of you who have sown into our lives. Look in the description and you'll find the link for BetterHelp Counseling for those of you that need counseling. Lisa and I are not counselors, but we do have an amazing relationship with BetterHelp Counseling that I know will benefit you. Just go to the description, find that link, check them out, and if you engage BetterHelp through that link, it will afford you 10% off of the cost of their counseling, and they in turn will make a deposit into RC Blakes Ministries because we recommended them to you. Now, Queenology is happening in 3 weeks and something, right? Yeah. In Atlanta, Georgia at the Whitley Hotel. You need to go now before they close registration. We're going to have an amazing time. Women are coming from everywhere. It's going to be phenomenal. That Saturday, the brunch and intensive is going to be amazing. Lisa and I are going to speak into your lives, of course. Then we're going to have a conversation with the young men from Hardly Initiated, the amazing podcast, and Dr. Aldwin Tart, and my daughter, Dr. Carrie Turner, soon to be the First Lady of New Birth Church in Atlanta, is going to facilitate that conversation. We're going to have the drawing for the winner for 2025. We're going to Ghana. The Queenology community is going to Ghana in 2025. We just come back from Egypt this year. And last year at Queenology, we chose a winner from the registrants, and she went with us this year to Egypt. Well, this year we're choosing another winner for the trip to Ghana. And the young lady that won the trip to Egypt, I'm thinking we're going to bring her up on stage and let her actually choose the name out of the tumbler for the one that might go to Ghana with us. Now, you got to be registered and you got to be present. You got to be registered and you got to be present. That Sunday night, Dave Hollister is going to conduct the all-white party. He's going to do an amazing concert singing our theme song. Hey, man, you just don't want to miss Queenology 2024 in Atlanta, Georgia. Go to queenology.net and register right now while registration is still open. Those of you that desire to just go to Ghana with us, you can go to rcblakes.com and you can find the link to go and secure your spot. And of course, there are payments that you can make up until the time it'll be July of 2025. Yeah, so a lot going on. I think this is going to be our last Queenology conference for a while. Next year, we're going to focus more on travel. And hey, if you can make it to this one, you need to make it. I don't know when we're going to do this again. It's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. Don't forget to go to Amazon. Pick up all of my books. And by the way, speaking of books, my latest book, The Training for Reigning, is dropping at Queenology. Father-daughter talk, Queenology, these books sell all around the world every day. But this Training for Reigning, it's going to be something different. And the three of those go together. Father-daughter talk, Queenology, now The Training for Reigning. It's dropping at Queenology this year. I love y'all. That's all I can say. I love you. Don't forget to like, make certain that you like and share this message today. And just know that Lisa and I, we love you with all of our hearts. And, you know, you're on top and you're going higher. That's the thing about it. The devil's mad, but he can't stop you. You're on top and you're going higher. God has more in store for you. So we will, Lisa and I will, see you at the top. God bless you. Until next time.
We here at RC Blakes Ministries want to thank you for spending this time with us today. RC and Lisa are always honored to have you with us. Don't forget to reach out to us by visiting our website at www.rcblakes.com. While you're there, you may join our mailing list and receive a free download of The Laws of Manifesting Your Vision by RC Blakes. Also look at all of the online programs by RC. You may find all books written by RC and Lisa. Once again, all of us here at RC Blakes Ministries want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And as we always say, see you at the top.
My queen, my queen. Oh, she. Beautiful, wonderfully made. She's heaven's angel. So strong, even in struggle, yeah. When life comes like a storm from every angle, she rises above it all, the backbone of every home. Nothing compares to all she do. The true meaning of every family. She's the glue. Where would we be without you? You brought us Martin, Malcolm, and Obama, yeah, and Jesus too. Oh, she's sophisticated, strong, simply amazing, humble, honest, and helpful, educated, ebony, eccentric, empowering. She's a queen, she's a queen. You better treat her like a queen. Oh, Her strength is amazing. Life inside, 9 months she's carrying back to work, 'cause the family she's carrying. Society don't give her just due, but she prevails and stands tall. A champion, a true woman. But nothing compares to all she do. Yeah, the true meaning of every family. She's the glue. Yeah, oh. And where would we be without you? Yeah, you brought us Martin, Malcolm, and Obama, and Jesus too. Oh, she's sophisticated, strong, yeah, simply amazing, humble, honest, and helpful. Not only that you are educated, yes you are, eccentric, empowering. You're mine, she's a queen. You're mine, you're my.